The Ghost Ship Conspiracy. Dr. Evelyn Shaw stepped onto the abandoned cruise ship, the mist swirling around her feet. She felt a chill in the air, as if the ship itself were alive, watching her. Evelyn had been called to investigate a series of mysterious disappearances aboard the vessel, rumored to be haunted by malevolent spirits. She was determined to uncover the truth. As she walked down the creaking gangway, she couldn't shake the feeling that eyes were on her. The ship's once luxurious interior was now a decaying relic of its past. Evelyn met Dr. Simon Carter, a marine biologist who had reluctantly joined the investigation. Simon was skeptical about the paranormal, but he respected Evelyn's dedication. "This place gives me the creeps," Simon muttered as they entered the grand ballroom, now filled with ghostly echoes of past revelries. The air was thick with unease. "We need to find Sasha Volkov," Evelyn said. "She's an engineer and knows the ship's layout better than anyone. She might help us find clues about the disappearances." Sasha was waiting for them near the engine room, her laptop open and displaying schematics of the ship. She greeted them with a wary smile, clearly uneasy. "I found some strange readings here," Sasha said, pointing to her screen. "There's an area below deck that's emitting unusual energy. It might be worth investigating." The trio descended into the bowels of the ship, the corridors growing narrower and darker. Evelyn felt a presence, as if the walls themselves whispered secrets. In the lower decks, they found a hidden compartment. Inside, an ancient artifact glowed faintly. Evelyn reached out, sensing its dark energy. "This could be the source," she said. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the compartment, and ghostly apparitions materialized before them. Evelyn's heart raced as she faced the specters. "We mean no harm," she said, trying to calm the spirits. One of the ghosts, a young woman, seemed to focus on Evelyn, her eyes filled with sorrow and anger. The apparition spoke, her voice echoing through the compartment. "I am Isabella. This ship is cursed. My death was unjust, and I seek retribution." Evelyn felt a pang of sympathy. "Tell us what happened," she urged. Isabella's story unfolded, revealing a tale of betrayal and a tragic maiden voyage. "Captain Blackwood wronged me," Isabella continued. "He covered up my death to protect his reputation. Now, I haunt this ship, seeking justice." Simon, skeptical but intrigued, asked, "How can we help you find peace?" Isabella's form flickered, her eyes locking onto the artifact in Evelyn's hand. "Destroy the artifact," Isabella said. "It binds my spirit to this place. Only then can I move on, and the ship will be freed from its curse." The trio exchanged glances. Sasha nodded. "Let's do it," she said. "But we need to be careful. The artifact might be dangerous." As they made their way back to the main deck, ghostly figures followed them, whispering words of warning and pleading for release from their torment. Evelyn studied the artifact, its surface etched with ancient symbols. "We need to find a way to break this curse without causing more harm," she said. Sasha suggested using the ship's old communication systems to send a distress signal. "Maybe we can get help from outside," she said. They reached the radio room, but the equipment was old and corroded. Simon tinkered with the controls, trying to get a signal out. "It's no use," he said. Suddenly, a deep voice boomed through the room. "You should not have come here." Captain Blackwood's ghostly figure loomed before them, filled with rage. "You can't stop us," Evelyn said defiantly. "We're here to right the wrongs of the past." Blackwood's ghostly form wavered, conflicted by her words. "I never meant for this to happen," Blackwood said, his voice softer. "But I cannot leave until my guilt is absolved." He disappeared, leaving them in silence. "We need to find a way to reach out to the living," Simon said. "Maybe there's another way to communicate." Sasha's eyes lit up with an idea. The ship's PA system, Sasha exclaimed. If we can get it working, we might be able to broadcast a message to any nearby ships or planes. They made their way to the bridge, encountering more ghosts along the way. Each spirit seemed drawn to the artifact, their gazes filled with longing. At the bridge, Sasha and Simon worked to power up the PA system. Evelyn stood guard, the artifact clutched tightly in her hands, feeling its malevolent energy. It's working, Sasha shouted. Broadcasting now. Evelyn spoke into the microphone, her voice steady and determined. This is Dr. Evelyn Shaw. We need help. The ship shuddered as if responding to her plea. Ghosts gathered around, their faces a mix of hope and desperation. The air crackled with tension. We need to destroy the artifact, Evelyn said. But we can't do it alone. The spirits need closure. Simon nodded, understanding the gravity of their task. The artifact pulsed with dark energy, resisting their efforts to break it. Evelyn felt a surge of fear but pushed it aside, focusing on the task at hand. Suddenly, a spectral hand grabbed the artifact, pulling it from Evelyn's grasp. It was Isabella, her form more solid now, her determination palpable. I will end this, Isabella said, her voice firm. She raised the artifact high, and with a final, desperate effort, smashed it against the floor. A blinding light filled the room, and the ghosts let out a collective sigh of relief. The ship trembled, as if releasing a long-held breath. When the light faded, Isabella stood before them, her form now peaceful. Thank you, she whispered. The curse is lifted. We can finally rest. Captain Blackwood's ghost appeared, looking more serene than before. You have done what I could not, he said. The ship is free. And so am I. Evelyn felt a weight lift from her shoulders. The ghosts began to fade, their forms dissolving into the air. The ship seemed brighter, less oppressive. We did it, Simon said, a hint of awe in his voice. Sasha nodded, wiping a tear from her eye. The spirits are at peace, she said softly. As they made their way back to the deck, the ship's misty shroud began to dissipate. The sun broke through the clouds, casting a warm glow over the vessel. They were greeted by the sight of a rescue ship approaching, its crew waving and calling out to them. Relief washed over the trio as help finally arrived. We should tell them everything, Evelyn said. The truth about the ghosts, the artifact, and the ship's tragic past. Simon and Sasha agreed. Once aboard the rescue ship, they recounted their harrowing experience. The crew listened in stunned silence, absorbing the incredible tale. News of the ghost ship conspiracy spread quickly. Families of the victims found solace in knowing the truth, and the ship's story became a legend. Evelyn, Simon, and Sasha were hailed as heroes. They had not only solved a mystery but also brought peace to restless souls and closure to grieving families. Evelyn reflected on the experience, her heart heavy with the weight of what they had uncovered. We did the right thing, she said quietly. Simon placed a hand on her shoulder. We gave them peace, he said. And in doing so, we found our own. Sasha smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. The trio remained friends, bound by their shared experience. They continued their respective careers, but the ghost ship always held a special place in their hearts. Years later, Evelyn returned to the site where the ship had once been. The sea was calm, and the sun shone brightly. She felt a sense of closure. Thank you, Isabella, she whispered to the wind. Your story will never be forgotten. With a final, peaceful sigh, she turned and walked away. Simon and Sasha joined her, each lost in their own thoughts. They had faced the supernatural and emerged stronger, their bond unbreakable. What's next for us? Sasha asked, a glint of excitement in her eyes. Simon chuckled. Who knows? But whatever it is, we'll face it together. Evelyn smiled, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. There are always more mysteries to uncover, she said. And we're just the team to do it. The sea sparkled in the sunlight, a reminder of the adventure that had brought them together. They walked towards their next chapter, ready for whatever came next. The ghost ship was no longer a place of fear but a symbol of redemption and forgiveness. Its story lived on, inspiring those who heard it. Evelyn, Simon, and Sasha knew that their journey was far from over. They were united by their quest for truth and their belief in the power of closure. As they sailed into the horizon, they felt a sense of peace. The past had been laid to rest, and the future was filled with endless possibilities. And so, the legend of the ghost ship conspiracy became a beacon of hope, a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of redemption.